By Jingo, it's the Nerd Theorists! And tonight we're talking retro gaming with the very new Evercade EXP. This is a retro gaming console. This is a cartridge based old school. It's basically an emulator, but it's not, it doesn't feel like an emulator. It feels like a proper Game Boy, Game Gear, old school. Baba. You can't see it very well because it's white and my light's very bright, and I've tried turning it down and it doesn't make any difference. And this is the only bad thing I will have to say about this machine, and I'll get it off my chest straight away. You've got your A, B, Y, X buttons. You've got two triggers on the top, R1, R2, L2. You know this, you know the drill. But what they should have done was they should have coloured the letters in black or something, because you can't really see them. But that's the only bad thing I'm going to say. Everything else is gravy. So, Evercade. This was the original Evercade handheld. Then they brought the VX out, which was a two-player home console. This is the new version. Oh look, there's my reflection. Wow, that's trippy. So basically, it is a licensed emulator. They have a license. They've got Atari games. There's 300 plus games available already on this. Atari, Interplay, Codemasters, Commodore 64. There's bloody hundreds of them. The original system was £80. It came with two cartridges. This one is £120. It comes with one cartridge, and it also comes with the Capcom games built in. You can't get these games anywhere else. You can't buy them a cartridge. The only way to play these old school games, apart from playing them old school on the old machines, if you want them for the Evercade, you have to buy this machine because they're built in. And it is a right collection. You get Street Fighter 2 Hyper Edition. You get Mega Man 1, 2, and Mega Man X. You get Ghouls and Ghosts Classic. You get 1942. You get 1943. You get 1944. You get Final Fight. I mean, who doesn't like an ex-Street Fighter turned mayor beating the shit out of people trying to rescue his kidnapped daughter? It's a fantastic game. The other great thing about this machine, and this is clever, you've got your standard buttons and your directional pad, but you've also got another A and B button here, because you can flip it round. And for games like 1942 that were originally built to be played on a long narrow screen like this, you can play it in what Evercade are calling Tate mode. It's spelt Tate, but trust me, it's pronounced Tate because it's Japanese. It's the Japanese word for vertical writing, and I found that out this afternoon. And if it's not true, I'm going to look like a melon. But I'm sure it is true. So tell your friends. It's a fantastic little unit. You can get a micro HDMI, so you can plug it into your telly, and you can play old school retro games, but on a nice big HD TV. But if you really do want the retro experience, you can play it with scan lines. There's an option to play it with scan lines, like old school grainy scan lines. You can play it in the original aspect ratio if you want, instead of playing it on widescreen. It's stereo sound. Plug your headphones into it. You get your games. Like I say, it's 30 odd cartridges, 300 plus games. This is the Codemaster. This one's got 17 games on one cartridge. This one's got Sensible Soccer, Cannon Fodder, Super Skid Marks, which isn't about shitting yourself apparently. Brilliant games, but proper old school little clamshell case, instruction booklet, little cartridges. The whole thing is very, I mean, the way the cartridges go in, oh, they're tight. You see, it's just all so very tactile, and they slide in, and it's all very smooth. The old system only had the two top triggers. The new one has got 4 top triggers. Now these were all 8 and 16-bit games. Are we going to get 32-bit games? Are we going to get the old PlayStation games? Because of the triggers. This is the exact layout of a modern controller now. So what we're going to get. The new console also has built-in Wi-Fi, and it will do updates regularly, whereas the old one you had to plug into a computer and it was a bit of mucking about. If you didn't know what you were doing, you could bugger it up. This one, automatic. It's going to soon start with Game of the Month as built in now. Whether that's going to be free access, I don't know yet, but that's something else that you get to do on the new one that you couldn't do on the old one. Yeah, that's about it. Just go and buy it. I mean, it's bloody fantastic. I've spent so many hours, and just Even if you don't want to go out and spend a load of money on cartridges, 120 quid, you get all those built-in Capcom games, and you get an IREM cartridge which has got 6 more games on it, which has got Battlecopter, which used to be called Mr. Heli when I was a kid, brilliant game. R-Type, another good game. In the Hunt, submarines, shooty shit, fantastic game. So you've got 18 Capcom and 6 IREM with that. You've got loads of games, hours and hours of fun without spending any more money. If you can get your hands on one, they're like rock and roll shit. It took me ages getting hold of that. 4 to 5 hour battery life, but I tested this one to destruction, 5 hours 45 minutes before it died. So they've edged their bet saying 4 or 5 because it actually lasts longer than that. It's a USB-C charging point, which you get the cable free with it. You don't get the HDMI cable, so you would have to buy that separately if you wanted to plug it into the telly, but why buy a handheld console if you're going to plug it into a telly? It's made to be portable. It's beautiful. Also, if like me, you had the original system and you bought yourself the original case, the new one fits in the case. They haven't done the cheeky thing of making it slightly bigger. Look, it slots in lovely. You've got room in the front pouch. You've got room in the front pouch for another 4 cartridges. That's all I have to say on the matter. It's phenomenal. It's one of my most favourite things in the world. Evercade, I think, as a company, a genius, bringing back the old games but doing it in a way that makes it feel retro. Doing it in a little handheld unit, a beautifully made, stylish handheld unit. I mean, I've got the old one, which I will keep because I just love the look of it. I will still go back and play this one while that one's charging, and then I get about 8-9 hours battery life. Win-win. Anyway, I've been filming for a very long time. This is the second time I've filmed this video because I forgot to press record the first time. I'm very tired and I want a Horlicks. So have a pleasant night. Love you long time. Goodbye.